I'm a geoholic.
Oh, buddy, this brings me back to last night.
Back to last night.
We somehow survived last night and made it to day 2 here at Intergeo.
Day 2, we made it.
Oh my God, last night was a blast.
A lot of fun.
And it was like, it almost didn't happen.
Yeah.
I almost talked us out of it.
Yeah, you
took us the long way.
You wanted to take a cab, and I was like, no, let's take the metro and take the public transportation and walk through. And we ended up walking into this bar area, had one drink and then met some Irish guys and a German guy, and then all of a sudden, there were small beers, but several beers later, we were best friends.
Yes.
Exchanged information, hugged it out, and man, it was a lot of fun.
So much fun. One of the highlights for sure.
Oh, by far.
Yep. But here we are, day 2. Really looking forward to this. We got some really good interviews lined up for you. And like we said yesterday, we hope you enjoy it as much as we have.
Sounds good.
All right, we've got Mike with us this morning. Mike, real quick, just going to have you do a just self-introduction, who you're with, and kind of what you do.
Great, thanks guys. Well, thank you for having me here. I'm Michael Dutch. I work at NavVis. So NavVis is a German company that was founded 10 years ago. We are having our 10-year party later on today.
Are we invited?
Yep, if you gents want to come along, more than welcome.
We absolutely do.
Yeah, if you can drink a couple of Aperol Spritz, you'll be in the right place.
No problemo.
No problem there.
Yeah, and NavVis is a company that specializes in software that enables incredibly quick and accurate data capture, and also how that data is hosted afterwards. So we have our own software platform called NavVis Ivian, where our customers can build out their digital twin.
Okay.
So it's really software driven, right? Because you have the wearable, obviously. I mean, I know how long ago did that particular wearable come out?
Yeah, so I think the company is definitely a software company.
Sure.
Here at Intergeo, there's lots of different providers. There's lots of different scanners available, like the fundamental elements of the hardware.
Yeah.
But what separates them all is the software that runs the hardware in the background.
Okay.
Without the amazing processing and the software that is accurately capturing the data, we're not able to produce the results that we can. So we are definitely on the premium end, let's say that, and the software is what gets us there. So it's cool to see a wearable piece of technology, but the brains of the operation really is in the software. Sure. And the VLX3, which is what we have here with us today, this is our latest product, the latest iteration of the VLX series, but we do still have the VLX2. And the reason that we keep the two products separate is the VLX2 has been fantastic. It's almost 2 years old, and it is definitely a product leading and trusted element for building surveys. So inside of buildings, outside of buildings, it's a phenomenal piece of equipment. The new kit, the VLX3, is able to take that great technology and go even further outdoors.
Oh, wow.
So the system has a greater range, and that's what enables us to capture phenomenal data outdoors. And I'm not sure how much we thought about it ahead of time, but the noise reduction that we get on the VLX3 has also opened up this new kind of vertical for us in engineering and the energy sector.
So talk about the noise reduction part like a little bit more. I mean, you're not talking about, the background hum noise here. You're talking about the noise that
more
you
like
encounter.
dirty data, right?
Yeah.
In part, it's dirty data, but I think with mobile systems, one of the trade-offs people have always had to have in the past is, hey, I want to capture my data incredibly quickly, but I have to make a sacrifice on data quality, and noise has been part of that. And it's not just the chatter, I guess, of people maybe that we'd get inside of the data.
Yeah.
It's almost like an individual feature, like a wall, may come out actually fuzzy or fluffy because of the spread of points around that feature.
Okay.
So the lower the noise, the cleaner and crisper the data looks like. And for NavVis, we've been able to create an algorithm that enables this really fast data capture while giving you results similar to a static scanner.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? It's really mind-blowing to me that NavVis has only been around for 10 years. It seems like so much longer. I don't know if
we've got a big booth. We've got a big booth here.
Yeah.
Right.
It's good. It's good.
So it's been received well, but I mean, things are going well. People like the product and are excited about the new one.
Oh, for sure. So we launched it earlier this year. So we've already had customers in the field operating the device. Yeah. And as I said, we've opened up this new market vertical. It's something that our customers really challenged us. They took the equipment and went into new spaces, and it's been absolutely phenomenal.
Or in your case, maybe out of those spaces.
Exactly. Exactly.
So talk about what is that range difference, and so what from the 2 version to the 3 version? How much further can you get? And I'm picturing a 100,000 square foot building, and now we can get the entire parking lot and all the infrastructure streets around that building. Is that kind of the idea?
Exactly. So both bits of equipment would be able to, so the VLX2, VLX3 would definitely be able to capture the data inside of your building, but you're starting to get to the point there with the VLX3. So the difference in range, the sensor of the VLX2 is up to 100 meters of range.
Okay.
And VLX3 is up to 300 meters of range.
Oh, really?
So it's a substantial difference. It's not something small.
Sure, yeah.
And, the underpinning technology is SLAM, this umbrella term, and our SLAM has really benefited from that extra range. The extra time that we've had with the sensor has meant that we've been able to more accurately calibrate our algorithm to produce phenomenal results. And, SLAM really fundamentally needs features. It needs to be able to see geometric features in the environment to produce an accurate map, an accurate capture of the environment. With that extra range, we can see way more features. And you mentioned it there, the streets around.
Sure.
So now, customers are taking the system for utilities and road mapping. So you may see outside here in the car park, there's a couple of mobile mapping systems that are vehicle-mounted systems for mapping, city-scale infrastructure.
Yep.
There are some streets that, for GNSS receiver reasons, and maybe they're actually just difficult to drive through, that you can't take those vehicles. We're now seeing people take the VLX3 and do an infill between the vehicle-mounted system and with the VLX3.
So that's almost
awesome.
like you're you're mapping the roads and the bigger system, and then they'll take the VLX3 and walk through the culvert or get the area around the railroad or stuff that you can't actually drive on, and you want more detail.
Yeah. Well, and also
you can patch it together?
Even inside the urban environment. So where you have really tall buildings and your GNSS receiver is not going to be connected to many satellites.
Okay.
All of a sudden, having something that does not rely on GNSS can be very, very powerful and effective. And you can probably tell, guys, from the UK. So we have plenty of areas where there's roadworks.
Sure, right, yeah.
And you can't necessarily drive down those spaces, but you can for sure walk down them.
Okay.
And that means that you can still get the accurate data, and as you said, connect the 2 point clouds together afterwards to create a single model, but of both types of environments.
Super cool. Now, as far as constraining the scans, are they self-constrained? You were talking about the geometric features and picking those up, and that is kind of constraining, I think, right? Is where you're going with that, the scans. Do you have to include survey control? Will that tighten it up even more?
Yeah, so you're right to an extent there that the features in the environment are a fundamental part of our capture. But for a long time at NavVis, we've had the ability to include control points. It's not a hard requirement. It's definitely not essential. We have plenty of customers that for their use case, it's not required. But if customers are, they require the data to be geospatially located in the real world.
Yeah.
If they are chasing a really good accuracy report at the end, these guys are going to need control. So your old traditional survey techniques with your total station come back alive again. You're able to take that technology and combine that with NavVis. So you capture the control points as you walk with the VLX.
Yeah.
And in post-processing, in IVN processing, you're able to include your absolute control, and then the data is processed, accuracy is improved, and the data is geolocated in the right location. So the workflow afterwards of registering everything together just falls away.
Yeah, it's awesome. We were talking about it before we started recording. We had Noah Eckhouse and Devin Sprunk on the show, and they're in Phoenix. And they were kind enough to do a demo at a local curling club, because I was curious to see how it was going to react to the surface of the ice, basically. And really cool. I mean, Noah went in there and did his thing, picked up some control points that we surveyed in after. And, it was a really cool experiment.
And they were pretty dead on, right?
Yeah, it worked pretty well.
You've got Noah. Noah's one of our best. That's good.
He was amazing. Yeah, you can tell he's super passionate about it, and just really knew his stuff. That's for sure.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So what else are you excited about kind of in the future? I mean, is there another iteration, or is the goal to continue to expand that reach, or the distance you can go, or where is the technology going next?
Yeah, so
if you can talk about it. I mean, I know it's super top secret.
Yeah, obviously, development is constantly happening in our home base in Munich. And NavVis is one of those companies where, right now we have a tech advantage over the competition in the space, and we need to try and keep it that way.
Sure.
So, 50% of our staff are design and engineering, people developing the software and next generations. And that stuff is definitely going to continue. We also have the software platform NavVis Ivian. This is a really, really interesting space where we're able to host the data and have a Google Street View-like experience where you can navigate through your panoramic images and the point cloud is always in the background. And we have clients building out their operational digital twins, or connecting different parts of their technology stack, their ecosystem together, but the visuals come through NavVis Ivian. And this space is definitely an exciting space. I think for so many of us, and everyone you guys have on the podcast are probably very familiar with point clouds. We're not scared of them.
Right, yeah.
But there's definitely, industries that need to leverage geospatial data.
Yeah.
And if it's served to them in a way that looks scary and that they can't use it, they won't.
Sure, yeah.
But if we can serve it to them in a way that's easy to digest and they can get the intelligence they need, all of a sudden it opens up so many more use cases.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely. I mean, the traditional surveyors are slow to change. Is that a fair?
I would say stereotypically a little stubborn.
They will if it works, but as soon as it doesn't, it's, no, I'm going right back.
Going back to the old way.
And like you said, as soon as it's a scary point cloud and they want to do something and their computer fries because it's too much data, they'll shut it down and go back. And I'm guessing that's kind of the advantage that you're talking about here.
No, I think in part, so I think the traditional surveyor for us, because of this inclusion of control and being part of the surveyor workflow, we actually have a lot of traditional guys that are almost leapfrogging the scanning, the tripod-based scanning, and coming straight to us. What I'm trying to get at is, the guys in the energy sector that might have incredibly large portfolios of assets that they manage. These guys don't necessarily want to look at a point cloud. They're actually used to looking at, large CRM systems and tables of information.
Oh, sure.
But if we're able to serve this to them in a way that, hey, they can look at a panoramic image and they can actually see the element that they're interested in, it brings a whole new way of looking at the problem.
And like you said, the point cloud is behind the scenes.
100%. They're not doing the hard work.
They're not trying to go through a billion points. They're just getting that street view kind of feel.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So is it proprietary? Like, can you take point clouds from other providers, or can you take
or in
other
formats?
Yeah, so we're definitely not playing a closed ecosystem game. So we have always been and will always be very open to work with others. So we ingest the standard open file formats, your E57s, etc., and we export them as well. So you can bring everything into NavVis Ivian. You can register all of your different point cloud data together in Ivian, and you can export it if you need to, or if you need the data to be connected within Ivian, you can keep all of your data up there and host it. We also have a well-documented API for NavVis Ivian. So we have a lot of customers that go above and beyond what we actually ship. They create their own software solution, integrated solution, based on their client needs.
Wow.
So I got to ask you, everybody I've met that works at NavVis just seems so happy. Talk about the culture a little bit of the company itself.
Yeah, it is something that our CEO Felix has really nailed down, I think, from day one, trying to generate this really people-first approach. It usually means everyone has to survive a good round of interviews before they join.
Right.
But it has made the company an amazing place to work. I think for myself personally, I've been in this industry a while, and one thing that I'm constantly impressed about at NavVis is the quality of the people that we have. You know, there's so many people that are kind of leaders in their field, whether that is, you know, on the software development side, whether that is in business administration, whether that is in marketing. You know, but we've already mentioned our booth here is pretty wild. Our marketing team have done something phenomenal, and that just makes it such an amazing place, a vibrant place to work. And it's a challenge for everyone to keep up with the pace of the next guy.
Sure, yeah. And you guys are based in Munich, is that what you said?
Yeah, so we have our HQ is Munich. We do have offices in LA, New York, and Shanghai. And recently we opened NavVis UK.
Nice, close to home, right?
Exactly.
Nice.
So I got a home base.
Oh, that's amazing.
But I do have to say I love the trips to head office to Munich. There's always a good beer to have there.
Yeah,
nice.
Awesome.
That's great.
All right, well, we'll see you at the party later.
Great,
yeah,
great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before I jump off, guys, I guess I've got to represent my podcast.
Oh,
Please
that's
do.
right. Yeah,
Yes.
please. What's going on there?
So we're actually speaking to thought leaders in different industries. So whether that is in how buildings are documented, whether that is the energy sector, and we're having them on to really help understand how dynamic scanning and how our software is starting to change the game a little bit. And it's called Scanning Realities. Like and subscribe. I'm new to this, guys. You know, you like and subscribe.
Right.
It still doesn't feel comfortable. It doesn't feel comfortable. But yeah, let's see where it goes. Maybe we could have you guys on at one point.
Absolutely, we'd love to. Yeah.
Great.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
See ya.
You talk to these folks. They got some amazing technology flying around.
That's right. Can't miss it.
Cannot miss it. So let's start with some brief introductions. And if you'd like to go first, just name who you're with and what you do.
Sure. My name is Karo Godles. I'm an artist, free artist. I'm a painter, actually, but I design stuff. And I work for Hybrid Airplane Technologies right now.
Yep.
And I'm there for our designs, for advertisement and all stuff, to visualize. Yeah, the platform.
Yeah. We might be able to use your help. You never know.
You never know.
You never know. You need an artist in your life.
Everybody does.
Everybody needs an artist, yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Csaba Singer. I'm the CEO of the Hybrid Airplane Technologies GmbH. And actually, we work on lighter-than-air technology, lighter-than-air UAVs. We have a lenticular balloon-type drone here. We are the only ones who are allowed to fly over crowds. And maybe for those who try to imagine, okay, what's that? If you understood the Chinese spy balloon in February, actually that's what we do, just in a civilian way, for good purposes. And actually we don't have a system that has the size of a football stadium. Our system fits into a trailer, but it can do the same. We fly out beyond visual line of sight, we fly over crowds, we monitor, we communicate over the systems. It's actually a computer in the state of suspension.
It is amazing.
I love that. Lighter than air, but yeah. You start.
Well, first of all, I mean, how did you come up with this idea? Like, what in your mind made you think this was a game changer?
That's an amazing question. First of all, I was a big Star Trek fan.
Okay.
And then I started to study aerospace engineering. And when you study aerospace engineering, you quickly realize that many things have to do with military.
Yeah.
But if you have some, let's say, visions for the future of our species, then you think more peaceful ideas. And then it comes up, there are 3 flight concepts: balloons, helicopters, and airplanes. Balloons were the first 300 years ago, the Montgolfiers, and we still don't use it commercially every day. Why not? And then I said, okay, that's the problem we want to solve.
So give the listeners an idea on the scale of what we're talking about here. You said, you can fit it in a trailer. But is that, do you guys manufacture all different sizes, and, is it project cases, or like how do you, is there a standard 3 foot wide, or what do you do?
It's about the sustainable commercialization of lighter than air technology, which is floating with a gas, helium or hot air. And to bring this into a commercial, sustainable commercialization, we first produce 3 types, Aero 0, 0 Plus and 1. They have payload capacities like 500 gram, 1 kilogram or 3 kilogram, and have diameters like 230 meters, 260 or 3 meters is the biggest one. Diameter. That means it fits to every standard door. We can reuse the helium, so we don't build up and down our systems like a tent and take out the helium and refill it every time. Helium is a not reusable gas. It's an ending gas. So we have gas. We have a gas cell that is almost conserving helium, and therefore it's better for us to leave the helium inside and take a trailer or a sprinter instead.
Oh, okay.
In Europe, we are everywhere in 48 hours. We are also in New York within a week.
Yeah.
Because the helium is already there. We just need to take our system. Then it's built down like a tent. It's like in a ski bag, and we just fly then as a special luggage. You can take it with you in the plane, and you can then perform everywhere in the globe. And interesting is that even the price is like you fly 3 or 4 times, and you have it again inside you, amortized.
So a couple more. Just spitballing here, but what are some of the advantages versus every other UAV out there?
All right,
that
imagine like a drone has to generate lift in a dynamic way. That means it needs 4 propellers that are lifting the whole drone, and the drone is lifting the payload. And actually you just do this all for the payload, for the use. We are floating with helium, so we don't need energy to work against gravity. All our energy is for the use, for the camera. And if you compare how much is in a cake diagram, how much, like 80%, 90% is to lift, and just 10% of a drone is for the camera. So you can imagine, turn this around.
Yeah.
We fly over hours. Here we try to break our record of 4.5 hours.
4.5 hours.
That was my next question. What limitations are there for the flight time?
Actually, just the electricity or energy usage of the payload for us. And of course, we maneuver, but this maneuvering is negligible.
And is it both applications both inside and outside? Like
yes.
If it's really windy, what happens in the wind?
Yeah, you saw it on the Chinese spy balloon, what happens in the wind. Actually, it flew over continents, and we can control our systems. We know every time where they are. We can also say, please come down, without losing it, that someone shoots it. And actually, we have 3 different modes. One is the free flight mode, like here inside, or when the weather is good enough with 15 kilometers per hour true airspeed. That means with 10 kilometers per hour inclusive gusts. Of course, this is like Beaupre 1, but we can perform in every direction. Over a demonstration, for example, over some festival, but also over the forest. Then we have the tethered balloon mode, which is an aerosol, where you have the system in a tether.
Okay.
And it is about position holding. The feature that the drone needs is position holding, and you can do position holding by muscles with the propellers, or you can do it by intelligence. You hold it just by the rope. And we found out that many of the use cases that need position holding don't need free flight. And the others that need free flight don't need position holding.
Sure.
And there is another point, to fly with the wind, not against it.
Okay.
So imagine to have 10 systems parallel to each other, and like with 1 kilometer distance, so you would have already a strip of a wide like 10 kilometers, and then with 20 kilometers wind, 5 hours long, you fly 100 kilometers wide. So this is 1,000 square kilometers in 5 hours, collected with a resolution of 1 millimeter. No one can do this, not even with a Cessna or a helicopter.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I have so many different thoughts running through my mind. I mean,
Well,
this is
talk about some of the use cases that
Yeah.
are most common that have been used so far. I mean, who's using this right now?
Yeah, we are a bootstrapping startup in Europe. That means in Europe there is no venture capital like in California or
Okay.
maybe also in China. That means we needed to take the lowest hanging fruit for our technology to climb up the Mount Everest, where
Sure.
the tip of the Mount Everest is the sustainable commercialization of lighter than air.
Ah.
And what was our first step? I give the word to Caroline.
Well, advertisement, right?
That's what
Party.
yeah.
So what is that low hanging fruit? I'm just curious.
It's actually advertising flying over crowds. We are the
Oh,
only
yeah.
one who
Got
can
it.
fly over crowds.
Ah,
We are, for
yeah.
example, a part of Intergeo. We do it in the 7th year. And, like advertising means you glue or you put your logo, your roll-up into some kind of advertising space, into a poster. For example, a poster in an airport poster costs you 30 to 40,000 euros per month.
Wow.
If you are Hyundai or whoever has the posters
Yep.
in terminals. So imagine you have there a moving eye catcher
Okay, yeah.
and you write just the logo on the shell.
Yep.
This is how it starts. And then you have the camera under the system where you live stream what you see. And in the live stream there is again a logo inside.
It's awesome.
That's
this
amazing.
is how you start, and this is
Yeah.
already a multi-billion-dollar market.
Sure.
And this is more or less how we start. In the bootstrapping, we reached the scaling phase here, and all other use cases. It's like it's a disruptive technology, like
Sure.
an iPhone in the state of suspension.
Sure.
That means the software
Yeah.
defines if it's for agriculture, for forestry, for governmental, for multimedia, what we do actually here.
So is any of it patented?
Yes.
It is.
In US, in Canada, and 10 European countries.
Okay.
This was the first. We have a strong IP strategy, just like a Californian Stanford startup.
When did you start?
With 6.
Oh, okay.
With 6, I started to program. And when did I start with aerospace engineering? When I started to study aerospace engineering, this was maybe with 2021.
Okay.
Now I'm 46.
Yeah. So what happens next? I mean, what are you excited about?
Growing. So the company has to grow. We are, of course, now, you cannot go for bootstrapping all the time. So we are in strong fundraising rounds at the moment. And then, of course, scaling the business cases and scaling the systems in size.
Yeah. Yeah. What do the traditional drone guys think? They give you a hard time, or are they accepting of it?
No, it's like, because where their abilities end, our start. There is just a small intersection where we
interesting.
compete.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
For
I can see
example, they
that.
are not allowed to fly here. We have a very strong market entry barrier because the drone is not allowed to fly over crowds. Our system simply cannot crash. That's why we have the safety certificate, Airpass Zora, to do it, and also the insurance. So everything is there. And this is also why the first step was so important, to do it with a market entry barrier against drones. And there are other use cases, for example, forest inspection. When it's about 1,000 square meter, you can more or less start to forget a drone.
So does it have like a GPS receiver on it, like an RTK?
We have a full board computer with a full Linux distribution, and it has not just a GPS sensor. As I said, an iPhone in the state of suspension. Which sensors do we have in an iPhone?
Gotcha.
GPS sensor, even microphone, IMU, inertial measurement unit. Then, of course, you have your compass. And all of these is, of course, also in our system, plus already first software, an operation system. So just like I said, and the system is communicating over satellites and over the mobile network in a redundant way over multi-channel software.
Yeah. Cool stuff, man.
Yeah. Karo, I'm just curious about the artwork side and the is it difficult, or how do you take other company logos to fit in this round? I mean, is that what you have to do? I mean, you're not just slapping their poster on there, right? Or
No, sure. I mean, I'm always like cooperating with the company, right? But they want like an eye catcher, right? It's always nice to have something. Oh, yeah, I remember that, So I work with them together. What they want, like the colors and everything. Yeah, and we can print it with all kinds of print stuff, you know, because
awesome.
the strip nylon is very nice to, you know, just like a parachute, right? You can attach everything on it. So it's cool. Yeah, and with light, we do a lot of stuff with light.
Oh yeah, talk about that. Like, is that like LED light that? So even motion.
It looks like a UFO, right?
Yeah. Well,
sometimes.
We are projecting. We are also projecting on our shell. Madison Square Garden already asked what we can do.
Oh wow, that is awesome. It's genius. Absolutely.
I mean, I think it's, I can tell you this. That's one thing that I won't forget seeing, because we're sitting here and all of a sudden it just kind of floats by. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah,
flying saucer.
Flying saucer. Exactly.
That's right.
How do people find out more?
Just please visit our homepage at www.haero.com, h-aero.com. And you just need to type in the company name, the trademark, Haero, or just look for Csaba in Baden-Baden or Germany. You will already find us because it's so unique.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, hey, anything else you guys want to get out there?
No, God bless.
God bless, and thank you for your interest and that we could have this talk with you and your amazing, interesting questions.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Appreciate you guys stopping by.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got Sam with us. Sam.
We are back.
We're not doing that every time.
I haven't said that in a while.
All right, one time today. We've got Sam with us. Sam, I'm going to let you do just a quick, brief self-introduction. Give us your name, who you work for, and what you do.
Hey guys, I'm Samuel Beaupre, and I work for Geo-Plus. Is the sound okay?
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. So I work for Geo-Plus. It's a software company based out of Montreal. Recently, we have an LLC open in Florida, so it's expansion coming.
Nice.
Interesting.
And it's a nice. It's winter are pretty hard in Montreal, so it's going to be a nice excuse to escape the cold a little bit.
Yep.
This is my second time at Intergeo.
Nice.
It's actually my dad's business. We've been in business for 36 years. It's older than me. So
Good for you. Well, we're going to get more into that in a second. First of all, where are you from?
Montreal.
You said Montreal,
North
right?
Shore of Montreal, Laval.
Okay.
If you know, but now I live on the island.
And just to clarify, because of the accent, it is Geo-Plus.
Yes, I'm
he says Geopolis.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm very jet lag, very much jet lag. And if anything comes out wrong, please pardon my French.
We know the feeling. I can tell you that.
Literally. Right on. Okay, cool. Let's get into the company. You said you guys have been in business for 36 years. Your dad has.
1987.
Wow. And how did he get started with this?
Very, very cool story. He actually went to college in Quebec City to be a land surveyor. It's pretty big in Quebec. Since we follow the French code, it's a little bit complicated, but it's like an engineering class out there in Quebec. And then he did a master in computer in 85, I believe, and this was his master's project. So
really,
unreal.
So it was in DOS and some forgotten language, or it's not forgotten. It's just improved a lot since then. And
did he have what? Because you guys have a lot of different products here.
What was the first product
that
was his master's thesis thing?
So every product started with Vision, and I think it was Vision Plus.
Vision Plus.
If I'm correct. And it's used to be a plugin for AutoCAD.
Yep.
And I'm not sure, or I can really not answer what AutoCAD was looking like in '85.
I could probably tell you.
Yeah, that's right.
It wasn't great.
What was the initial intent of Vision? What was the whole point of the plugin? What did it do?
It's still the core of the business. It's really to help streamline field finish processes. I'm sure it wasn't called this way back in the 80s.
Sure.
But it's really to take from the reality of the field to bring it to a 2D plan, optimize those processes. And like I said, it was a very different world. But still today, what's worth money is a 2D plan signed by an engineer or a land surveyor. So it's still part of our culture to really. And now LiDAR and everything.
Yep.
We're much more advanced, but it's still even if you with BIM plan, it's still a 2D plan. That's the piece of paper. That's
This is so cool. I'm so glad we're having this conversation. First of all, I had no idea about the company, and now I'm checking out all the different products that you guys have, and everything from Vision Plus, which is automation of surveying process, just like you described. There's, what's this one here? Vision LRS, reference objects to your linear paths. Vision.
So since the I try to. I know there's a lot on it, so I try to summarize. I would say our biggest product right now is Vision LiDAR, and Vision LiDAR 365 is the SaaS version. Okay. So this is. The LiDAR is the future. Yep. It's that's where we're aiming. So we still have Vision Plus, Vision Civil. They are plug-in for AutoCAD, MicroStation, and more recently BriskCAD. But our focus is really on LiDAR in 3D, optimizing those processes. But there's a bunch of other products because we've been working with Quebec DTO since 1988, I believe. So we developed a couple of applications. It's still on our website, but it's very niche to where I live, and also the Hydro Quebec is a public energy company in Canada. We've been their land surveyor are using our software since I believe also it was 1988 or close to the space. So it's been So
how big is the company?
We're close to 30. I'm sorry, the right number. We lost. We haven't lost. Where somebody was on break for cancer. He's coming back next week, so I'm very very happy. I think it's 26.
Okay.
Yep. And who are most your clients? Is there like a certain demographic that you target to? I see on the website it says you have over 61,000 users. So tell us about some of those users.
Yeah, and right now in over 40 countries, so we're very very happy, very awesome. International. It's super happy to be here. And at Intergeo, most of our clients were back in the days land surveyor, civil engineer. That's been our focus for a lot of years. But the point cloud really bring us to a different world. And now there's so many applications coming out with AI and point cloud coming in next year. I think we're trying to catch a wave to surf it. But a lot of good things are coming. And now, like manufacturing is a industry we never thought about it. But we signed, I think it was 4 years ago, Group Renault, the car manufacturer.
Oh yeah.
And they do a Nissan and Mitsubishi as well. So all their factories in the world are scanned in 3D. They had BIM model, and it's a SaaS application, so they can access. Let's say they can have a meeting in France, and they have a factory in Turkey, and they even have VR mode, so they can walk through the factory and optimize. So this is
cool.
And like I said, we never thought about it. We just doing these trade show a little bit across the world, and they just came by our booth and they liked us, so we developed it for them.
So it looks like you have, the whole suite of applications, like 12 to 15 different applications, maybe.
Close to. Like I said, there's a bunch of very very niche products that are still on the website because we like it. It's good for SEO and everything.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But I would say our main focus is really Vision LiDAR, the SaaS version, Vision Plus Vision. There's also like Vision Cadast. It's like for cadastral application. Very, like I said, another very niche part of land surveying.
Yep.
But it's pretty big in Canada. I'm not sure about the US, but
certain parts for sure.
When your land's worth money, it's usually it comes with it.
Yeah, right. Very interested in that one myself. So what is the business model? Like, do you purchase the software? Is it like, can you get like the whole suite if you wanted to?
But it's going to cost you a lot of money.
And is there a company? I guess some of the huge ones, but who would need every single one of these?
I don't think there's a lot. Like I said, it's 36 years in business, so there's a couple product here and here. But like I said, mostly land surveyor, civil engineer. But the point cloud, now we're getting more and more into indoors. A lot of people So I think I can maybe speak a little more about Vision LiDAR. This is really the product I'm pushing, and I want to bring forward. We do deep learning classification on it, and the biggest thing is we let the user the ability to create their own deep learning model with machine learning. So you only need a recent NVIDIA card from I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know. This goes so fast in this world.
Right.
And there's a reason NVIDIA is worth, I don't know how much in the stock market.
Yeah,
a trillion
whatever.
Or,
Billion, I think they hit a trillion valuation or something like that.
Yeah, they're like 10 years in front of everybody. So we quickly, when the product came out in 2017, there was a lot of mathematical calculation or algorithm to classify the point cloud, but deep learning, those NVIDIA cards change the game completely, because it's so good. And the difference with machine learning between picture and 3D, for picture you need sometimes 2,000 images, 5,000 images because it's a pixel, and there's so many options for a pixel. But 3D, the geometry it's so distinct. Sometimes you only need 10 to 12 little sample size, some simple data to create your model and bring it. You can always retrain it to bring it more robust. But with 10 to 12, let's say you can have a pretty decent classification model. So that's what we bring forward. That's what we're presenting here at Intergeo. And this is what sells more internationally, let's say.
Oh, sure.
Do you partner with other software developers?
Yes, of course. Always open for partnership. On top of my head, I'm thinking. I'm bringing Hydro-Quebec back a project with the research project I believe we did for them. We mix our deep learning algorithm for point cloud, and they mix the imagery. So they were trying to do deep learning for what type of foliage, what type of trees were along the power line, and they were making estimation from what type of tree might be problematic in the 2, 3, 6 months, or make better estimation of what tree can become problematic. Sorry, I need to have a sip of beer.
So does the different softwares, do they integrate with Autodesk and Bentley or MicroStation?
Yep,
they do.
Yeah, and
that's awesome.
And I don't want to brag, but also Briscad way before Hexagon bought them. So we were again, I'm not sure how they've done it without because it's pretty much a copycat of AutoCAD.
Yeah.
But it's a very nice product, and we've been with them. I believe it's been 10 years or something right now. We were pretty much the first, at least in Canada, to start selling them, and it was a nice alternative to AutoCAD, much cheaper than AutoCAD. And I think since Hexagon bought them, it's just skyrocketed the product.
Yeah. And how about on the hardware side? Is there certain manufacturers, or do you work with all the different manufacturers?
That's the thing. We don't sell any hardware, so we're trying to find a way to be a little bit different. A lot of our clients, let's say they have a Faro, they have a RTC 360 from Leica, and more recently a NavVis, like a VLX, and they all have different software and different platform they're using. So we're trying to take every data, every data source and integrate it into our software. That's how we stay relevant, I would say, or different.
Oh, sure.
And so that's when it comes into play, because, like I said, no, we're not a hardware company, and most of the hardware seller give a little software for a year, or at least to get the data out of the machine. So, but we do have a partnership, I think, with LiDAR USA in the US, Viametris in France, and cool. a couple scatter here and here, but there's no exclusivity, or we're just in good terms with everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious on the evolution of how you from where it started, and you saw this your entire lifetime. So
I grew up in it.
Right. Yeah. So talk about how some of the different products come online. Is it like a client has a need and you guys figure out how to make that work? Or did your dad go out there and say, well, the next thing we need is a plug-in to calculate, stockpile volumes? And it's like, how did that happen? How do you evolve to have 20 products on the market?
I would say your first answer, it's pretty much... Well, any base of a business is there's a need, you get a solution, and hopefully there's money in the end.
Sure.
So pretty much evaluate the needs. You talk with clients. It's been like that. Like I said, huge client. We can do personalized application like a bunch of product you mentioned on the website, but. We try to narrow it down because sometimes you can get lost into it and there's no perfect product. You cannot do. I don't think there's a one size fits all. So, like I said, we're trying to be different. We're still a small company, so we're trying to be more innovative. And in the recent year, it's been with the deep learning and the NVIDIA card. Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. So to be a successful software company, I have to believe your customer support or your technical support has got to be top notch.
Exactly, and this is always stay again different because we're still a human-sized business, and obviously with time zone is not always easy. We got a support team that I love. Thank you, Antonio, back home. Sometimes he wakes up at night for people in Hong Kong. So but with Europe it's pretty easy. I try to do a meeting in the morning and then it's the afternoon for them. But yeah, definitely. I believe we try we always try to give an answer in the next 2 hours, and you get a call from somebody in the next 24 hours.
Wow, man, that's amazing.
It really is. I'm so glad we met. This is great.
Sam, what else you want to get out there? Anything for the listeners, or anything they need to know more about the company?
Please go on the website, geoefan, if my English is correct, plus.com.
Yep.
So geoefan+.com. We do have a YouTube page. We do have an Instagram. TikTok a little bit. We're trying new things.
Very nice.
I'm not sure our customers are out there because it's still relatively young people, but always trying to try new things. And I mean, like you said before, we started the reels, the social media, storytelling. So that's what we're trying. But if you're Intergeo, please come by our booth, try our product. Like I said, we're trying to, and I think I remember what I was saying. Sometimes you try and narrow it down to what application, and like I said, we're trying to. If sometimes it's too outside of the box, we're trying to think. Does it help fill the finish processes? Because it's really been the core of the business.
Sure,
This is what we're good at, and this is where, in French, I would say tirer l'épingle du jeu. And I'm not sure. Like I said, just trying to be innovative and different.
Yeah,
nice.
I love it. Great website, also.
Yeah,
thank you.
I love it.
We just redone it. So
did you? Let them know. I think it's
great.
great.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for stopping by. It's been great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Likewise.
And we're back.
Once again.
Oh, man, I've been looking forward to this one all day.
Yeah, got a full house.
We got one of those people on that we've known for a very long time.
Yes, that's
Had
right.
on the show in the past.
That's
just
right.
have never physically met. So today was the day.
That's amazing.
And his sidekick, who we're going to meet here very shortly.
Let's do it.
Super excited. So, Paul, why don't you go ahead, quick introduction, name, who you're with, and what you do, and then pass it along to Gian-Philipp.
Hi guys. Thank you very much for having us. Nice to meet you in the flesh. I'm Paul Burrows. I'm the Principal Software Solutions Manager of Reality Capture, Leica Geosystems. And today talk about all sorts. But Gianni probably is the main man because he's had some really cool products announced in the last few days. So
awesome.
over to Gianni.
Yeah, not only the last few days, it's actually happened yesterday. So
okay.
Hi everyone, also thanks a lot for having me here. My name is Gian-Philipp and I'm the product manager within the BLK team. So also working for Hexagon in the Reality Capture division. But first podcast, so very exciting.
Oh, you're doing great.
Wow.
So tell us about what's the big thing that you guys released. I'm dying to know.
Yeah, so basically maybe you know about the BLK solutions, what we launched, I think 2017, really disrupting the reality capture market, and since ever going along with this. And yesterday we announced a completely new member in the family, the so-called BLK2Go Pulse, and it has a complete new technology about how we capture the reality around us. So it's not anymore a dual-axis LiDAR scanner, which we use in nearly all of our sensors, but it's dual ToF solid state, which we developed together with Sony. So it's a tight collaboration.
Wow.
Yes. And not only the hardware, it's really the whole processing of this data has been developed together with Sony. And this allows us fantastic new things to do with this device. So coupled with our Grand Slam, which we know for quite some time and which is working very well, we now enable pulse technology, which allows us to capture the world around us as we walk and colorize it in real time.
That's awesome.
So this gives a complete new experience when you capture the space around you. So it's not anymore 360 degree. You don't capture everything. It's really tailored to what you need. So we call it first-person scanning because basically it's mimicking your human side eye.
Ooh.
And this is very intuitive because you are for the first time in control of what you are capturing. So it's not anymore capturing everything, just what you need. And this makes the whole workflow very efficient. And talking about the workflow, we have several options. As we are very quick in capturing the data, we are as quick in exporting them and making them usable. So with the BLK Live app, the tailor-made app for this new BLK2Go Pulse, we can export the colorized point cloud instantly as an E57 and share it as easy as a video or as a photo as you use it from other apps. But also we can upload it directly from the field, from the smartphone into the cloud platform.
Wow.
So Reality Cloud Studio, and there we have amazing functionalities to make more out of the data. And what exactly, I think, Paul, you will give us some insights about it.
Yeah, so you followed that, guys, yeah?
Oh, totally.
Yeah,
So what I got was almost real-time point cloud.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean,
that's insane.
I've been in this business so long now, it's crazy. But to see it to the point where you're walking around with basically a magic wand, and you're just moving it around the space and seeing it built up in 3D in color, and then you're able to just, like you say, instantaneously export it to these file formats or even upload it to the cloud. It's absolutely crazy. But the biggest innovation for me is now you've got an attachment on the back for your phone. So you can actually see in real time, and like Gianni says, it mimics the field of view. So it's so intuitive. I can't quite describe how you.
I mean, basically, what the sensor sees, what your eyes see, and with the display in between, it's all in one line of sight, and that makes it super intuitive. And you compare it with your eyesight, there are three things to mention. First of all, I mean, it's not 360. It's basically we are used with a certain field of view, and this makes it very easy to digest this information. It's very intuitive. The second thing, when you look around, there is no delay. I look left and right, and I immediately see it. And this instantaneous feedback on the display, we have realized it. So that's really technology complex, but for the user, it's an amazing feeling. And the third point out, it's also when you look around, it's colorful in reality. So we also want to have these colors, and that's for the first time what we realized with this BLK2Go Pulse. So colorized point cloud as you go.
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, I've seen it in the past. Obviously, I've seen it in testing when I've been to Switzerland and stuff. And Gianni's been kind enough to give me previews and bits and pieces, because obviously we need to discuss how the data then goes from the device into the software. But yeah, it's just so easy to use, and everyone who's played with it has loved it in the last few days. So you'll have to come down and get some.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I've seen some people walking around holding it with the phone on there. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool setup for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
what's the range of the new one?
So up to 10 meters. It's definitely short range compared to the BLK2Go and the BLK2Fly, which goes up to 25 meters, and also indoor. I mean, it's a new technology. We are mastering it and very well. So basically indoor up to 10 meters.
Interesting.
That is amazing.
It really is. I got so many ideas running through my head.
Well, I got to ask, and don't be mad at me for asking, but tell me or not if the hexagon glasses are coming, where all of this is just you put on these glasses and then everything you see is captured. I know it's in the works. I know it's in the works, right?
Well, I don't know whether it's in the works, but you start talking about it, and it becomes feasible in your mind, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So,
why not?
And if you look at what Apple and Meta are doing with their headsets, they're including all the depth of field sensors in there anyway. So it's going to be a matter of time, isn't it, before you can start building it up.
But it sounds like if you guys have this technology where I can attach it to my phone, it's there, and it sounds like it's light years ahead of everything else, and it's just amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, the good thing is it follows the format, so people, it's familiar.
Right.
And also, it's a single device and it's handheld. Your other hand's free to do whatever you need to do. Super light, and especially now because it's solid state. There's no moving parts. There's no mechanical parts. So it's actually, in terms of the robustness and service intervals and all this other stuff, it actually kind of goes away to some degree. But yeah, I'm really excited to see it. And the social noise yesterday was huge with it. Yeah. So and previously when we'd showed it at Hexagon Live too. Yeah, so cool. Exciting times.
So cool. So you mentioned partnering with Sony on this. Is this Sony's first dip in the geospatial world?
I guess so.
I've never heard Sony mentioned in the same sentence as geospatial before.
I mean, I guess they probably do. There's probably some cameras deployed, maybe not with
cameras.
Sure, yeah.
Probably from the airborne sensor side of things. So but certainly on our side, this is the first time we knew they have the technology, but integrated within the Leica Geosystems portfolio.
Exactly, and as I said, it's not just the hardware. It's not just that the sensor comes from Sony. It's also the collaboration about how to process this data. And so from both companies, we work to this together because we have experience on both sides, and combining this makes complete new things happen. Huh? That's great to see.
Yeah. And these are out, people can buy them?
No,
not
not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
We announced it yesterday, huh?
Okay.
So the website crashed. All the carts filled up, and then you got to figure out how to get it to them.
So it says buy now.
Right.
It doesn't mean you'll get it now. That's the difference.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like I can buy a Tesla now. It's not going to show up tomorrow.
They just self-drive to you.
Yeah, exactly.
So on the back end of that, we talk about the processing, uploading to Reality Cloud Studio. That's using 4G or 5G networks to get that data up in the cloud. Because what we then do with the data is we can register. So if you've done multiple walks, we can do registration in the cloud, or we can turn that into a mesh as well. We can do that automatically with a single button click. So then what that allows us to do, as Johnny said, go field up to the cloud, register, produce some deliverables, and then someone in another office remotely, either in country or another country, can then stream that data down and use it. So it's it's incredibly well thought out, and maybe customers might not use it that way, but it's a nice ecosystem.
Well, it really sounds like you took the users and really what they need, and then the back end folks and really what then they need, and cut out all the other stuff to streamline it. And that makes complete sense. I mean, it's awesome.
And the app, talk about the app just a little bit.
So, Johnny can talk more. Basically, we have the BLK Live app. So the BLK Live app now allows you to control multiple BLK devices. So when you switch to connect to the Pulse, the interface is slightly different. BLK to go, BLK 360. BLK 360. It just changes depending on the device that you're connecting to. But we wanted a central place. So whether you're using Android or iPhone, essentially, you could also run it on the tablet, but it just makes it super easy to start collecting the data, especially this new version. As Johnny was showing, I went, I like that. We've added so many cool new features in the new version. But we also can connect it. I don't think we can connect the Pulse to Field 360, but that's obviously in the plan, I guess.
Yeah, that will come up next.
Yeah. So Field 360, you're probably aware, Cyclone Field 360 is the other field app that we have for connecting to RTC and all the other scanners. So in time, we'll have the capability to view the Pulse data in there as well. Yeah, so it's all, I feel like it's very structured and well thought out. And like I said, the ecosystem is there to support all the processing and quick turnaround.
Wow. I mean, just mind's blown. What do you got over there?
You mentioned, I think you mentioned a couple times, that there's the new software as well. Talk about that a little bit more.
Reality Cloud Studio? Yeah, so Reality Cloud Studio is a software as a service offering, so cloud-based. One of the key things from a Hexagon perspective, if you're using Hexagon sensors, we can get the data directly from the device to the cloud using the app ecosystem. So whether you're using Field 360 or BLK Live, we can send that and it will start automatically processing. But effectively, it's made up of three components. You've got the I'm going to test myself now.
You've only said this 1,700 times.
Here's the website.
You would not believe. Effectively, you've got the Reality Drive, you have the Cloud Studio, and the collaboration space. Okay, so the Reality Drive, you're sending your data up into the cloud to be stored. And it's as simple as that. It's almost like a Dropbox for your reality capture data. Then you've got your Cloud Studio where you can do your registration, your meshing, you can do clip boxes, geotags, measurements, you can even create these virtual tours. And the collaboration space, you've got some project management and you've got some user management, and you can talk to each other within the platform, but also you can share that data. So you can either share that internally in an organization or cross-organization. So maybe you have an account, I have an account, I can share a project. But the other cool thing we've done is add a public link. So if I want to share an asset, I can just create a public link, and then you can open that on any device, and you can view the data. And at any point in time, I can just close the public link so you lose access to it.
Okay.
But it just means that, I can say, I've scan this amazing house. Do you want to have a look at the property? Yeah, okay, open it up, boom, fantastic. And if you then maybe give them some more freedom, they can add comments and geotags and other measurements and stuff directly within there. But fundamentally, it's a new model for us. It's going to coexist along on-premise based solutions and desktop-based solutions. It's just another option. But we did see a trend towards people wanting cloud-based products and leveraging the power, because it's not just about the storage; it's about the leveraging the power of the cloud to do things even faster. Right. So because we can parallelize the operations, we can register much faster, we can mesh much faster. So obviously there's a cost there because people pay a subscription, but it should bring them major productivity benefits at the end of the day.
Well, like you said, it's like the Dropbox for your cloud. That's how the reality works now, is you have to get it and put it somewhere, and anytime you're jumping between applications and then access for your client to see in it, you're just creating steps that you guys basically have eliminated.
Yeah, and if you add a collaborator, they can jump in and actually download they can download the original file.
Right.
They can download any registered files that you've made, or even if you've made a mesh, they can download the OBJ. So you've actually, in the future we'll add some more tools as well, so we can actually segment stuff and make it easier. But fundamentally they can go in and pull that data down and use it locally if they want to as well.
Man,
what a world we live in,
right?
What a world,
and what a time to release this, right?
So I mean, it's a great show. I feel jealous for people who've been able to look, because I haven't seen anything. And then every time I go past someone who I know, there's 5 minutes of my life.
Right, exactly.
So, Anything else you guys want to get out there?
Just that Hexagon is an amazing place to work. Hiker did not tell us to say that.
Talk about that just a little bit, though, because I would like to know more about what it's like working at Hexagon. I mean, talk about the culture a little bit, because it seems like everybody we meet is just very happy. It's like they at least appear that they're very happy to work there.
We said this when we did the previous one. We were like, why is everyone so happy about it? I'll let Johnny have his take on it.
I mean, several aspects which come to my mind now. For sure, we are one big family here, a global international one, so it makes it very interesting to work with diverse cultures. But for me personally, I mean, it's the stuff what we make as well. So it's cool as tech, always on the next step ahead. It's not just these little steps, improving a little bit. It's just looking around and making big leap forwards. This makes it super exciting. And as you guys said, it's great times to be in this space. And with Hexagon, it's definitely the number one choice. So it's amazing.
Very good.
I mean, my take on it is, I've been here a long time. It's coming 17 years now. I never thought when I left university that I would be with a company this long, but because it just constantly challenges you, constantly gives you new roles, and also the technology. I mean, I'm an absolute tech head. I mean, it sounds really nerdy, but I remember winning the technology award when I was like 11 at school. And I thought, I love tech. And I kind of diversified a little bit into archaeology at one point, which we'll forget about that. But it did help me into the career path now. Yeah. But absolutely, it's all about the tech. And how can we? It sounds cheesy, but how can we help our customers? How can we give them the best experience? Because I'll tell you now, people say, "Oh, have you tested this before you release it?" Well, we on a daily basis from 9 till 5, whatever time, at weekends or at different places, we're hands-on with the kit. I've got kit at home that I test. Johnny probably lives with his BLK to go Pulse, I guess. It's his new girlfriend. So from that perspective, it is a really good organisation, and it's growing and it's so diverse. I mean, you've got everything from mining to geospatial. You've got Revolution now, which is this kind of like sustainability, environmental side of the business as well. It's huge. I mean, 25,000 people or something.
Wow.
It's massive. Yeah. But it's good. It's all good fun.
And it's great that you have a company that big, and you still get guys like this that are energized and love the company. I mean, it says a lot. So it's really cool.
And there's a lot. We'll find some more for you.
There They're everywhere.
You're right.
All right, guys. Well, hey, thank you for your time. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.